Hello, this is Veronica. Today I'll be making a simple long wallet with a starry theme. So first of all, print out the patterns and make them into templates. This is a simple bifold long wallet with card slots and cash slots. On the inside of the wallet, there will be 3 leather pieces. I made some changes to the pattern later in the video. So the longest card slot here is going to be different later. The leather I'm using is vegetable tan leather. And here I cut out a piece of leather for the exterior of the wallet. And I'm going to dye the leather in the navy color. So first I use some water to saturate the leather. It will make the dye more even. And I also dilute the leather dye, and that will also help make the dyeing more even. After dyeing the whole piece of the leather, I use a piece of magic block to dab on some red dye. So instead of directly using black dye, using red dye is going to give it more depth in color changes than directly using black dye. After dyeing, I apply a layer of leather conditioner on to soften the leather, and we'll leave it to dry overnight. And the next day, I'm going to apply a layer of leather finisher on top. And this is to seal the leather from bleeding. Then cut the leather into the size according to the template. I use some star stamps with some silver leather paint. I'm going to finish the edge on the folded part of the cover. And on the inside of the cover, I'm going to dye the folded part with the same navy dye and finish it with burnisher. And here are all the leather pieces we'll be using for the wallet. I use some silver paint to give it a starry dots onto the leather. Here we have the cover, 2 cash slots. And on top, we will have 3 card slots, leather pieces on top. The longest piece here is going to be replaced. And next, to prepare the card slots, we're going to skive the bottom of the leather pieces. This will make it easier to insert the cards and also make the wallet a lot thinner. And for the cash slots, we'll also be skiving all 3 sides of the edge except the opening part. After skiving all the bottom edge of the leather pieces, we're going to finish the top edge. And next, I use the template to position the card slot onto the cash slot. Then I use an auto scorch on the part we're going to glue, and that is going to make it easier for the glue to bond. So we will have the medium size one go on first, then have the shorter one goes on next. And here is the modified part of the wallet. I'm also going to use vegetable tan leather. Then I use the template to cut out the leather pieces. We'll install the snap buttons on each of them. And these two should be snapped to each other. We'll just simply glue them on without sewing, and also use the template to mark the middle line, then sew the middle line up. On the back of the cash slot, I'm going to use this non-woven fabric. Cut out a piece of the fabric to be slightly smaller than the cash slot. Glue it onto the back without touching the edge that we skive, and have some extra sticking out of the opening side. Then trim off the excess. This is to make the edge a lot more crisp. Now the card slots are done, we're going back to finish the cover. On the back of the cover, I'm going to use pigskin as a liner, using the template of the cash slot, and the gap in between would be 15 milliliter. Then we will glue the liner onto the cover. To glue the liner onto the cover, we'll be gluing on one side first, then glue the other part while folding the cover. And be aware that we're not going to glue the folding part. The liner is a bit smaller than the cover. This way is to make the liner to be a perfect fit when the wallet is folded. And finally, we'll attach the cash slot on the inside of the cover, and just simply sew them all up. Now the wallet is basically done, and all that's left is to finish the edge. And the edge is going to take quite a long time when the leather is this thick. First, I use a coarse sandpaper to even out the edge, then use a finer one to smooth it out. Then I use some burnishing gum to burnish it. Then I apply a thin layer of edge paint on top. And this layer is just to harden the edge. And here I have sand down the edge again, then apply a thick coat of edge paint on. Then we will smooth down the edge again with the fine sandpaper. Then apply a thin coat of edge paint. Here I use a heated metal rod to iron the edge. And after ironing, I burnish it with some burnishing gum. And we're going again on a fine sandpaper and another thin coat of edge paint. And go again with the fine sandpaper. And finally the burnishing gum. And that's the process of burnishing the edge for the wallet. And now the wallet is all complete. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to subscribe and I'll be seeing you in the next one.